I did a video, I think it was the first video of 2019. I'm not sure, but I made a prediction. I thought that this is going to be the year that really, Chi-Fi really kind of broke out. That the gap between stuff that is built, now price, as I'm saying that, I'm realizing this is expensive, so this should be competing with the big boys, and it in fact is. So mission accomplished. I think eventually the prices will come down, but I've heard triple hybrids from LZ and a couple others, and they just sounded way off to me. So I thought it'll come, but not yet. This is the first version of it having come. It's not in the price range that I think some people would like. Takes time, be patient. But three-way hybrid with 3 different types of drivers, a dynamic taking care of the bass, balanced Armature taking care of the mids, and then EST Electrostatic Bisonian taking care of the treble, done in a way that sounds really, really good, and also graphs really good. The graph will be done in the review, and if you're like, come on man, can you do review videos and stop with this bullshit stuff? I'd like to really give you guys clear, concise thoughts based on music, and I'm still getting a feel for this. I'm super stoked about it, but this is a lot of money, so I'm not gonna, I'll do a review when I'm on good ground and not the hype stage. This hobby and the manufacturers that are coming out of China are increasing their quality so rapidly that nailing down and saying something is the best is becoming very difficult. I've got the case right there. So I'm in a little bit of a conundrum right now, because this is clearly the finest that I've heard since I started doing Chi-Fi last September. Clearly. Instantly knew it when I listened to it, listened to some OCD stuff, thought this treble's not fatiguing me at all, but I'm getting every little detail. Went and graphed it, and ruler flat from where the graph begins to 1K, like a straight line. Like there is no dynamic in there because there's no emphasis, but when you put it in here and you listen to it, you can feel the tactile sensation that a dynamic will give you, which is the whole point. And then the mids, from I guess around 330 on up till you get to the treble, is pretty much flat. And then the treble, which is ESTs, I thought there's going to be the problem because there's not a lot of companies that have really used those that I've experienced, and they nailed it. It's kind of like a soft Harman with a dip around 5.5, and then it comes back up around 8, but it's a secondary peak, and I'll show it to you, but it doesn't, the bass isn't bothering because it's elevated, and that might mask some of the mids to some people. Look at the graph. Oh, no. There's no deviation in the mids that some might say, oh, look at that recess, it's V. No, it's not. Look at that peak at 8K. Well, yeah, look at it, but it's a secondary peak. It's lower relative to 4 and 5. And it actually sounds nice because any further back, and I wouldn't be able to hear the hi-hats, which sound perfectly placed on this set. So for a price, you can get what I think is the best. Somebody says, is this better than the BGVP 12? Yes. I'll say that right out because this has the tactile bass that will never give you. Is this competitive with the Anole VX? Yes, because it's got a dynamic again and it's giving you that sensation. And I've graphed that. I've had that in my possession. Love it. Much appreciation to the person let me borrow that. If you watch this video, bro, you might want to give this a spin if you can. This is the future. Fearless is really impressive. And the link in my video, wherever I'm going to get it from Google, find Linsol's link and put it in. There is no affiliate links on my channel. The only ones that I've ever done were GearBest, and they were trying to handle me like, you should do this, and please, leave me alone. I'm going to go swimming, or I'm going to do something. I'm going to make Halloween decorations. I'm not listening to somebody give me ideas about how to promote stuff on my channel, because I don't really care. I just like the music and stuff that makes it sound good, and this sounds really, really good. And if this seems like a hype video, it's because it is. I like music, and this music sounds really good on this. And when I do the review, I'll show exactly the music I listen to. And some people have seen my videos before and said, you know what, I listen to jazz and I don't agree with his ears. And then there's other people that say I listen to the same music he does and I can hear what he's talking about. So the music is kind of it's not just background visual. It's like I'm listening to that, and listening to that, I think that these things sound exceptional. The kick drum, the 4-string bass, the male-female vocals on the tracks that I talk about is how I'm evaluating this stuff. So it's got really, really important position in my videos. This video is not going to talk about that stuff, but it's going to be less than 10 minutes. This is the Roland. Fearless did what I doubted that they could do. And now I look at stuff like the Hyper S, which I didn't like, and the S10, which I didn't like, and think that those were almost experiments. And if you think, oh, I don't want to be an experiment, we're all beta testers. All the DAPs that we have, unless they're not Android-based, they're all using us to see what sticks and what doesn't, what works and what doesn't, what needs to be improved, what doesn't, what stuff seems to be not necessary. It's all, we're all beta testers all the time. And sometimes they hit stuff like this, and I feel lucky. So I'm doing a video that I don't even know what to call it. It's not an unboxing because I took it out the box already. It's not a review because I'm not talking about music. But I do have this in my possession, and I think it's very, very impressive. And if you say, would you wreck it over something? I'd wreck it over the Empire Ears because it's a third of the price, and the bass doesn't overwhelm the mids, which can happen sometimes with the Empire Ears. I love that set. I paid for that set a ridiculous amount of money. But if it's got an issue, the bass can be too much. This is graphing flat, and it's very much like a EX1000. A kick drum sounds like a kick drum. A 4-string bass sounds like a 4-string bass. It's not emphasized in the graph, and I'm not hearing it emphasized in my ear. It just sounds like what it's supposed to be. The treble that might be offensive on the EX1000 doesn't have any anomalous peaks, like what's before it and what's after it is much recessed relative to it. It doesn't happen on this set. They are a very talented group of people at Fearless Audio. I don't even know if they're Chinese or if they're Thai, because there's a site on Facebook that's, I think, Thai, and they seem to get stuff before everybody else. So I don't even know what country this company is based in. Like, who actually makes this? So if you guys think, oh, you're connected to I don't know what country this is actually from. Is this really Chi-Fi, or is this from Singapore or Thailand? Because there's a Facebook page and they seem to get the stuff first, photo-wise. And they talk about like a new creation, like they're making it. So I might be talking about private stuff right here, but I don't even know what country this comes from. So if there's like a thing like, oh, he really loves Fearless, I do. I got no connection to him, and I don't even know what country they're from. So maybe someone's going to comment and tell me, and that'll be the first that I know. This is really good, and I'll do a video. Is it my favorite? Right now it is. Is that going to change? I doubt it, but that's not impossible. So that's why I'm not doing a review yet. I want to really sit down and listen to this, and listen to the Legend X, and also the Art Magic, and then, you know, where are we? I think we're on another level, but really, I'm going to check that out, because this is a lot of money, and I don't want people to just jump on a train. But I'm really impressed. Music that I listen to, you can check some other videos. I listen to the same stuff. Allman Brothers, Pink Floyd, Fleetwood Mac, Meatloaf, AC/DC, Tupac, Ghetto Boys, everything in my library. Sounds fantastic with this. So I thought, do a video, let people know. There's people out there that are spending money, and they're not rich. I think most of you guys are not rich. So if someone says, I bought this thing I should have bought, I'm telling you, if you're on the fence, sit and relax and let that money get some interest in your bank before you move. Because this, it's just my opinion, but this is like a new step for Chi-Fi. Is this even from China? Really good work. Bass like EX1000, mids much like the EX1000, which is really a shelf, like a line, and the treble would be better. in the X1000 because it doesn't have those. You can hear it in your ear. I love that set. You guys have seen it 100 times, but this is real good. So review will be coming for this, and if you're waiting for the review on the Bluetooth, I'm going to have to ask you to please wait. And somebody said, can you give a sound impression? Nothing jumped out at me. They didn't seem to be offensive or that bad. Bluetooth range seemed decent. So if there was something weird, I would have brought that up like right away. There was nothing. So if that's something you're considering, it doesn't have aptX or LDAC. That would be the thing. But I'm actually occupied with this right now. So my listing's going to be doing Roland stuff for a little while. The name, I don't know where that came from. The sound comes from skill, brilliant tuning, really, really good stuff. And I will start preparing to do a review for this. And I'm out. You guys have a good weekend.